Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? There is a dark side to being a musical mercenary, to playing in several different bands and doing sub gigs. And nobody tells you about it. At least nobody told me. Nobody warned me. So I'm going to warn you and tell you because I like you. So last year I played a ton of gigs. I played with 17 different bands. Some of those bands I'm the main bass player or the only bass player. Not too many. Some of the bands I'm one of their rotating cast of characters. So, whoever can fill the gig fills the gig. On a lot of other bands, it was just a plain old sub gig. Our person can't make it, can you do the gig? Lead time varied from several months in advance, which is great, to, can you play tonight, like in 3 hours? Can you pack your car right now? And the amount of time I've had to prep songs I just completely did not know. I think the shortest amount of time I had was less than 48 hours, where I had to go from the list cold. I just didn't know most of the songs at all. And, this is a lot of fun, but it requires learning a lot of music, which is also fun. It helps me to grow as a musician, to transcribe all that stuff, to learn it. However, here's the thing, and here's where the dark side starts to happen. Part of how I learn music, how I learn songs so I can play them, is I listen to them. I listen to them over a few times over again. And so that way, like if I hear a song, if I know what it sounds like, if I can hum it, if I kind of know where the bridge is, I can usually play it. I might need to take some notes and just kind of tweak things. But if I get it in my head, I was like, oh, I can play that song. There's a bunch of songs from my past I've never played before in my life. But when somebody says, can you play this? If I can't play it, I should sell all my equipment. I'm better than that at this point. But let's get to the real dark side. Very often, we use streaming services now. Gone are the days of like, can I tape this song? Or I remember I had to borrow somebody's record once to learn a song a long time ago. Go on as LimeWire and Kazaa, Napster, and even like things like BitTorrent, because we can use Spotify and Apple Music and all those, YouTube and Amazon, and I'm probably forgetting one. You get the subscriptions. It's a tax write-off. And I can, make set lists, or if I'm really lucky, the person sends me the set list. And it's on one of those streaming services, so I have to use that. Dark side number one. It's a minor one, but it's one to be aware of. Make sure that you hit the option, like on Spotify, exclude from my taste profile. I didn't do that at first when I was making Spotify playlists for certain bands so I could listen to them. And all of a sudden I started getting served all this other music that I just really wasn't all that interested in. Because just because you play with a band and do a sub gig doesn't mean that's your favorite kind of music. But there's a really, really dark side that people don't talk about. And no, I'm not talking about burnout. I'm not talking about having to deal with various personalities. I'm not talking about having to sell out and not be true to your musical vision and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not that. It's that I learn songs by listening to them. So very often I have 1 or 2 gigs coming up every week. So what I'm listening to in my car is the playlists that I've made. I'm not listening to music that I like necessarily, or the music that I would choose. And so this goes on and on. Sometimes during the summer, that can be really, really intense because maybe I play with this band every once in a while, but I still don't play it enough. So I'm kind of like, okay, I remember these songs now. And that's not even the bad part. The bad part is when I have some free time, I have a week where I don't have a gig coming up and I can listen to whatever I want. I don't know what to listen to anymore. I'm not sure what I like. And this is painful. If you get to this part of the video and say, I thought this was going to be a serious video, I can't believe it. This is not a joke, kids. I love music. I love listening to it. If I didn't say so before, I'm often completely unaware of current events because I'm listening to music in my car. And now, I have these times when it's kind of like dead air because, my gosh, I'm not sure what to listen to. Do I listen to the Pumpkins or Rush or Julianne Hatfield or something? I don't know. And yeah, that's bad. What's the worst is when I put on something that's from one of these bands I really don't even like, but I'm humming along because it's stuck in my head. It's a dark side. So be aware before you start playing in a bunch of different bands and doing sub gigs. This could happen to you. Has it ever happened to you? Let me know.